Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om 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 Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So I'll chant it a couple times, then you can chant, okay? It's a Sanskrit language, Sanskrit, the original Sanskrit. Krishna spoke this language. But Krishna is speaking. Who is he speaking to? Arjuna, yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else? Oh, very nice.
Sanjay Dhritarashtra.
Sanjay was, yeah, he could hear what was going on because of Vyasadeva gave a special. And Dhritarashtra was there. And also all of us. He's speaking to all of us too, isn't it? Arjuna is just representing us. There's a devotee by the name of Jayadvaita. Does you know Jayadvaita Swami? Anybody know? Yeah. He was asking Srila Prabhupada, he said, you say that Krishna, when he appears in the material world, he goes from one universe to another. In the Vedic literature, there's millions of universes. Did you know this?
Yeah.
Millions of universes. Millions of universes. So Krishna, just like the sun is always rising somewhere on the earth planet, so similarly Krishna's pastimes are going in one universe or the other, everywhere in the material world, one after the other. So I said, well, if that's the case, then if we become Krishna conscious, can we go to the universe where Krishna is speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna? You follow? Yeah. Can we go there? And you know what Srila Prabhupada answered? He said, yes. But you don't have to wait to go to that universe. You can understand, you can hear Bhagavad Gita from Krishna right now. Just read Bhagavad Gita. It's the same, no different. So very interesting, isn't it? Because Krishna's words and Krishna are the same. He has his full potency is there in his sound vibration, his words. So Bhagavad Gita, so you'll see, what do you see on the altar here? Oh, they moved it. Oh, there used to be there was a book of Bhagavad Gita on the altar.
It's there.
Oh, is it there still? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's as worshipable as Krishna. Krishna's words are just as potent as Krishna. All right, so I say, you say. You ready? Ye yata mam prapadyante tang sataiva bhajamyaham mama vatmanuvartante manushya partha sarvashah Je yata mam prapadyante tang sataiva bhajamyaham mama vatmanuvartante manushya partha sarvashah. Please chant. Yes.
Ye yatha mam prapadyante
Tam stataiva bhajamyaham
mama vartamano vartanante manusya partha sarvashah.
Narottam. No. Others. Gents, ladies, doesn't matter.
Ye yata mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham mama vartamanu vartante manushyaha partha sarvashah.
Je yata mam prapadyante
tam sataiva bhajamyaham
Mama Vattaman Vattante
Mama Vatmanu Vartante
Manusya
Manusya Partha Sarvasah.
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम्
Tam Satsaiva Bhajamyaham.
मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते
Mama Bhagavatante.
मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वथा
मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः
Harshil.
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते
ये
Yeta Mam Prapadyante.
तथैव भजाम्यहम्
Tam Satsaiva Bhajamyaham.
मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते
Mama Bhagavatante.
मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः
Manusya Partha Sarvasah. Let's get some more ladies.
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते
Ye Yeta Mam Prapadyante.
तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम्
Tam Satsaiva Bhajamyaham.
मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते
Mama Bhagavatante.
मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः
मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः
I didn't mean to put anybody on the spot. But that's why I was chuckling because I felt like I was putting people on the spot. No. Anyone else who would like to chant it?
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते
तां तथैव भजाम्यहम्
तां तथैव भजाम्यहम्
मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते
मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते
मनुष्यः पार्थ सर्वशः
मनुष्या पार्थ सर्वशः ये all who yata as mam unto me prapadyante surrender tam them tata so eva certainly bhajami reward aham I mama my vartma path anuvartante follow manushya all men Partha O son of Prita Sarvashah in all respects. Translation: as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly.
I reward them accordingly.
Everyone follows my path
Everyone follows my path
in all respects.
in all respects.
O son of Prita.
O son of Prabhu.
Purport: everyone is searching for Krishna in different aspects of his manifestations. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal Brahma Jyoti effulgence, and as the all-pervading super soul dwelling within everything, including the particles of atoms. But Krishna is fully realized only by his pure devotees. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone's realization, and thus anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. In the transcendental world also, Krishna reciprocates with his pure devotees in the transcendental attitude, just as a devotee wants him. One devotee may want Krishna as Supreme Master, another as his personal friend, another as his son, and still another as his lover. Krishna rewards all the devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. In the material world, the same reciprocations of feelings are there, and they are equally exchanged by the Lord with the different types of worshipers. The pure devotees, both here and in the transcendental abode, associate with him in person, and are able to render personal service to the Lord and thus derive transcendental bliss in his loving service. As for those who are impersonalists and who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Krishna helps also by absorbing them into his effulgence. Such impersonalists do not agree to accept the eternal, blissful personality of Godhead. Consequently, they cannot relish the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord, having extinguished their individuality. Some of them, who are not firmly situated even in the impersonal existence, return to this material world to exhibit their dormant desires for activities. They are not admitted to the spiritual planets, but they are given a chance to act on the material planets. For those who are fruitive workers, the Lord awards the desired results of their prescribed duties as Yageshvara. And those who are yogis seeking mystic powers are awarded such powers. In other words, everyone is dependent for success upon his mercy alone. And all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. Unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect. As is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Akama, Sarvakamo va, Moksha Kama Udaradhi, Tivrena Bhakti Jogena Yajetam Purusham Param. Whether one is without desire, or is desirous of all fruitive results, or is after liberation, one should, with all efforts, try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Krishna consciousness. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. Anybody else? I was. But my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of transcendental knowledge. Therefore, I must first offer my respectful obeisances to him. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Shayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shah Pandantikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. You know, where this is Lord Krishna speaking to Arjuna. And I recently was listening to a lecture by Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, describing the meaning of the name Krishna. Usually, when Srila Prabhupada would describe the meaning of the name Krishna, you probably know, what is usually talked about?
It's all attractive.
Yeah, usually you say all attractive. Everyone has most people anyway, everyone has a little bit of attractiveness, yeah. There's different kinds of attractiveness. In Sanskrit, that's called bhaga. And so God is known as Bhagavan, the possessor of all attractive qualities. And Krishna also means the person who's the most attractive, all attractive person, all attractive. So there are different attractive qualities. Aishvaryasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashashashriya, Jnana, Vairagyaschapi. You notice? Aishvaryasya means wealth. Think. Who's that? Who owns Amazon? Who owns Amazon? Jeff Bezos. Think of it. Some people like to get to know him more. Bill Gates, or so many. In India they have Mafanlal. Isn't it? Some people want to know them. Yeah, if they're wealthy, it's attractive. Viryasya means strength, power. Yeah. Yasha, fame. There used to be a man, in Jersey City. I used to come to Jersey City. There's a man named Hardayal Singh. He wasn't a Sadaji, he was Rajput Singh. And anytime a famous politician would come, he wanted to get in the picture. He was squeezing, the 5 people, he'd squeeze in to get the picture. The mayor, he would come with the mayor. Yasha, because fame is attractive. You also want to be in the famous guy. Yasha, Shriya, beauty. Jnana, knowledge is attractive. Vairagya, renunciation. So Krishna just means that person who has all those attractive qualities more than anybody else. That's what in the Vedas, the Vedas are very, very scientific, very detailed. The devil is in the details. Have you heard that, Rich? The devil is in the details. Well, also, Krishna's in the details too, not just the devil. So the details are there. The Vedas give very detailed information about God. Very detailed information. You can learn, because God is very multifaceted. You have different aspects of your personality, isn't it? Yeah. So Krishna, being the supreme person, he must have unlimited varieties of aspects of his personality. And these are the Aishvarya Shishyaman Vishnu. So the Vedas give very detailed information about God. He's this way, he's like that. You won't find this anywhere else. You don't find this anywhere else. But in this one time when Srila Prabhupada was discussing about the name Krishna, he said something different which surprised me. He said that Krishna also means that person who's the most attractive because he's the most loving. He's the most loving. Because what's more attractive than love? He said in this one, he usually says it the other way, like I was saying, but this time he said, the most loving. Usually when we speak of God, God has many thousands of names, but this one name, Krishna being all attractive, is also meaning the most loving. So I thought we could talk today a little bit about that. Contemplate on the particulars of the way that Krishna is kind to us, the most loving, and then that helps us we can appreciate our position in relation to Krishna and maybe have an inspirational moment to think how we can develop. Usually when we talk in Krishna conscious circles, we think about how we can develop our love for him. But if somebody loves you, then naturally you might tend to reciprocate, isn't it? Okay, all right. We can improve our devotional attitude and our service attitude perhaps by thinking about this aspect of Krishna's all-attractive feature, right? Which was?
Loving.
Loving, yeah. Very good. Thank you. Somebody's listening. Okay. So, what is love? What is love? I mean, people talk about love all the time. There's so many movies about love and songs about love. Isn't it? I love this person, I love that person. We love our car, we love our dog, we love our country. Is that really love? Well, question. So that's nicely given in the Vedic literature that says, Atmendriya Priti, Icha, Atmendriya Priti, Vancha, Tare Bole Kam, Krishnendriya Priti, Icha, Dhare, Prema Nam. You've heard this before? Atmendriya Priti, trying to satisfy your own senses, Atmendriya Priti, Vancha, wanting to do that, Tare Bole, that's called Kam. Kam means lust. Atmendriya Priti, Vancha, Tare Bole. Krishnendriya Priti, Icha Dhare, Prema Nam. So wanting to satisfy Krishna's senses, that's love. Simple, very simple, straightforward. So usually what we go on in this world as love is usually kama, lust. Because as soon we go with somebody, we have a friend, we have a lover, And as long as they're doing what we want, then we stay. But if they go again, then I'll forget it. See you later, man. Isn't that what? So, and so that's first thing we to know. So in either case, it's a sensuous exchange. You follow? There's sensuous and sensual. Sensuous means with your senses. So it's to please the senses, but in this case, love means we have more interest in pleasing the senses of the beloved than pleasing our own senses. And kama means getting in some relationship or in doing something so we can get our senses pleased. Now the interesting thing is though, that if we learn and we practice and get good at learning how to satisfy Krishna's senses, you know what happens? Your senses automatically become pleased. Why? Because Krishna is the root of everything. Just like we are Tulsi Puja this morning. The Tulsi, Tulsi plant? Yeah. So there are many leaves and branches and everything. So one way to try to water the Tulsi plant is to pour water on the leaf. Good idea, right? Well, sometimes the water will trap down. But really the scientific method is to water the root of the plant, and then all the parts get watered. You keep watering the leaf, it's not really a very good idea, right? So similarly, Krishna is the root of all creation. If we can learn in our activities, in our mind, in our heart, how to satisfy Krishna, then automatically our senses will become satisfied. Yeah. Therefore it's called, bhakti is called this way. Sarvapadi vidik bhuktam vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikesha rishikena sevanam bhakti ruchate. The bhakti, or there's different kinds of yoga, and bhakti yoga means learning to use your senses to satisfy Krishna's senses. But Krishna is not going to be satisfied by blunt material senses. He gets satisfied by purified senses. And how do your senses become purified? By using them in Krishna's service. Just like if you take an iron rod, iron is iron. Iron is iron. But if you put an iron rod in a fire, it gets all the qualities of fire, right? All the qualities becomes red hot and burns. If you touch it, it burns. So similarly, by using your senses in Krishna's service, your senses become purified and they become spiritualized, and then they become capable of satisfying Krishna's spiritual senses. So, desiring to satisfy Krishna's senses, we said that's called desiring to satisfy Krishna's senses. I'm just saying if you're with me. Bear with me. That's called love, right. So, does Krishna reciprocate? How does he reciprocate? Does he reciprocate? In what way does he reciprocate? That's the question. Usually, in this world, sometimes does it happen that people get married for money?
Yes.
Does it happen?
It does. Very loud.
Now, if Krishna's loving you, if he loves you, what's he getting out of it? Is he getting any money?
No.
You don't think so? He's already got everything.
Yeah.
So he can love you perfectly, no problem, because he's not trying to get anything from you, right? He doesn't need anything. He's already got everything. He's called self-sufficient, swarat. He doesn't need anything, but so he can love you completely, perfectly, yeah. And in this world, if you have somebody that you're really interested in, and they're already involved with 6 other people, what happens to you? Are you going to be really interested in that?
No.
Why?
We prefer exclusivity, right?
You're going to be jealous, right? Yeah, you don't want to have that person. But Krishna's quite interesting, is that he can be perfectly give full love to millions and billions of living entities. In the first verse of the Govindam prayers, it goes, Chintamani prakarashatmashu kalpaviksha lakshavitesu surabir abhipalyantam Lakshmi sahasra shata sambrama sevyamanam. Krishna, in the spiritual world, he's being served with great reverence and affection by hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis. everybody's looking to get some favor from Lakshmi Puja. Well, you give me something. But Krishna can satisfy hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis. When Krishna was in Dwaraka, you know how many wives Krishna had in Dwaraka?
thousands and thousands.
100 and 800.
Yeah.
And each one, you think that all those wives that were worried, there was a Muslim king who had like 1,000 wives, but they were miserable because the king would only spend the night with them once every few years. But Krishna, he could spend the night with every single queen every single night because he could expand himself to 1,108 Krishnas. Each queen was fully satisfied, perfectly satisfied. And that's not just true for the queens. He can give full appreciation and love to every single one of us without any problem. Okay, interesting. Okay, now take a look at this. Think about this for a second. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, we were talking about this a couple days ago, Icha dvesha samutena dvandva mohena bharata. All of us, all of you and I, we were with Krishna at one point. Krishna is in the spiritual world. He is the center. He's the center of everybody. And everybody's engaged in service of Krishna. But because initially we all have a loving relationship with Krishna, and love, one very important aspect or factor in love is that it's never forced. I can't force you to like me. I could try, but it will not necessarily work. And you can't force me to love you. Because love means there has to be some freedom, some independence. And that's intrinsic in our relationship with Krishna, because our relationship with Krishna is one of love. He doesn't force us to love him. And for those of us souls who became a little jealous of Krishna, said, why Krishna? Everybody's after Krishna. I'm tired of that. Oh, why Krishna should always be served by everybody? The example is given, in the body, you have a stomach. And, yeah. They have a stomach. Oh, here we have many kids here now. Okay, thank you. So, these fingers, the arms, the legs, the mind, the mouth, everything is doing to serve food to the stomach.
Yeah.
So if the finger says, why all the food has to go to the stomach? Why all the food has to go to the stomach? I'm going to try to enjoy the food myself. Try it. And the ears say, oh, why the legs say, why I always have to work for the stomach? Okay, you can try that. What's going to happen after a while? No food to the stomach, I'm going to try to enjoy the food myself. Will the finger be able to enjoy the food on his own? No. The legs enjoy the food? No. The scientific method is to give the food to the stomach. But if the senses go on strike, that's us. We said, hey, why Krishna gets everything? So Krishna says, okay, all right, we hear you. You don't want to serve me? Okay, here you go. You can come to this material world and try it out. See how you do. That's us. We're all here because Icha Dvesha, we wanted to become, Icha means we wanted to be Krishna, and Dvesh, you know the word Dvesh? Dvesh means sometimes envy, but it's also, in this verse, it's translated as hate. We hate Krishna, we want to become Krishna. Therefore we're here. Krishna, nobody's going to be able to become Krishna, because you know why? Some people, they practice yoga and meditation so they can become God. Did you ever try? It doesn't work. Not going to make it. Because God is always God. God never has to do anything to be God. But people try. We try as best we can. And we try as best we can. So Krishna gives us this world so that we can make a valiant attempt to become God. To become the number one person. USA number one, right? I'm number one. Everybody wants to be number one. Well, Krishna is already number one. You can't replace Krishna, but we try. So Krishna said, okay, try it out. Here you go. And who is there? A person who hates you, you provide everything for. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If somebody hates you, are you inclined to provide things for them?
No.
Why not? Because they hate you, right? But look at Krishna. Krishna, we come to this world because we hate Krishna, and Krishna gives you everything you need. He gives you, food, he gives you water, he gives you air, he gives you a place to stay, he gives you everything you need. Who does that? We don't make it. Vedas say, Nityo Nityanam, Chaitanas Chaitananam, Eko Bahunam Yo Vididati Kaman. There's one supreme eternal and many subordinate eternals. That's us. One supreme consciousness and many subordinate consciousness. That one supreme, Eko Bahunam, for the many, Vididhati Kaman. The Kaman means they're all necessity. He provides all the necessities for all the other eternals, even though they hate him. That's love, isn't it? That's love. In the Western marital vows, they say, in sickness and in health. You ever heard this?
Yeah.
Even if you get in fights, you still have to stay together, right? So this is love. Even though we're ignoring Krishna, we're hating Krishna, we want to get rid of Krishna. Krishna still does so many things for us. And what do they say in the last part? If you've ever been to a Western marriage, they say, "Until death do us part." Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
Until death do us part. Well, guess what? For Krishna, even you die, still he stays with you. Still, you die, he goes with you for your next body, and to your next life, and to your next life as Paramatma. Sarvasya chaham ridishani vishnu matasmitir jnanam apohanam cha. He stays within your heart. He doesn't become too conspicuous. He gives you a little bit of space, right? Sometimes people who are very close, they need their space. You ever hear that?
Yeah.
Krishna gives you your space. Yeah, you want to ignore him? Okay, I won't come forward. I won't come forward too much. Once in a while, he'll come forward. He comes forward as the guru. It's okay, you're thinking about things aren't working out so well. You want to try the Krishna consciousness? No. Okay. He comes as the Bhagavad Gita. He comes as avatars. He comes yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujanyam. He comes whenever there's some problem. Paritranaya shadunam vinashaya. He comes. He's ready to come. He's ready for anybody. Just we've turned our face away from Krishna. Krishna bhuliyaji bhogavanchakori. We forget Krishna. But as soon as you turn your face toward Krishna, he's ready. You take one step towards Krishna, and he'll take 10 steps immediately towards you. Because he does have love for you. He does. All right. How's it going? Are you with me so far?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Sometimes a child will say to the mother, "I hate you." Does it ever happen?
No.
All the time, yeah. "I hate you." What, does the mother take it seriously?
No.
No. Krishna is so kind. He says in Bhagavad Gita, "Rasoham apsu kaunteya prapasmi shashi surya pranava sarva vedeshu shabdake paurusham nashu." And I'm the light of the sun and the moon. Rasoham, I'm the taste of water. Rasoham apsu kaunteya. He's everywhere. He's all these things. And does it happen also sometimes? Sometimes you wonder, if you say you're having a loving relationship, if you lose your job, or when you get old, you're not so attractive anymore, then you wonder, will your partner still love you? Does it happen? Will you still love me even if I'm old? Look, I'm not as very attractive, at least not as strong. I don't make as much money. Yeah. Well, you know something? With Krishna gives his love to a snake. All living entities. Sarva yoneshu kante aham bija pradapita. I'm the loving father of all living beings. Aardvarks, squirrels, pigeons, elephants, rhinoceroses, human beings, old human beings, weak human beings, ugly human beings, everybody. This is Krishna. Yeah. And you know, we were talking about Krishna coming to this earth to keep things in order. So when there's a disaster in a hurricane in Louisiana, so what should the president do?
Send some resources over.
Should he just send resources? No, think about it. Yes, some resources should be gone, but a good president will come himself, not to send his representative, right? I mean, it's nice that they send their representative, it's nice that they send resources, but when the president comes themselves, then you know, oh, they're really serious about it, right? Right. So, Krishna, even though we hate him, even though we try to ignore him at every step, still, he doesn't just send his representative, he comes himself. He says he comes himself to take care of us. This is love. Okay. So we're making this point. Krishna's quite nice to us, even though we reject him at every step. Okay. And then so he comes. Not only he comes himself, but he comes as the Shakti Avesh avatar. And then, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Now think about this. Krishna's wanting to reciprocate our love, and so he says very nicely in Bhagavad Gita. He says, "Okay, patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakti prayachiti tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatarpana." You know, you're not very rich. Okay. Just give me patram. Patram means leaf. Pushpam. Patram pushpam phalam. Toyam. Anybody can get a little water. Get these things. Just offer them to me. And then, by doing that, you'll come to me. Just try to give me a few things. Everybody can get a little flour, right? It's not a big deal. Everybody can get a little fruit. What is mango? Or if you don't have a mango, in the United States, you get an orange. Or a banana. You just give you give a little fruit. Just do that. And he says, so then, what about that? Well, you know, when Krishna was present on the earth, there was a demon named Putana. You ever heard of Putana? Yeah. She was a Kechari. You know what a Kechari is? Kechari is there's all these different kinds of witches. Just like there's all different kinds of putas. There's all different kinds of witches. So Kechari is a kind of witch that would fly, knew how to fly, on an uprooted tree. But they were also able to, you know what a shapeshifter is? Shape-shifting. They could change their shape any way they want. So they can look, you know, this is a certain kind of Kechari. So anyway, Putana, even though she was a demoness, she had, you know, those demon teeth. She could change her shape into a very beautiful lady. So she came into Gokul, and she went there, and she was so attractive, she made her so attractive, that all the people, they thought, okay, whatever you want, yeah, go ahead. So she said, I want to nurse Krishna. I want to nurse Krishna. And you know what Mother Yashoda said? Yeah, go ahead. Will you just allow any stranger to nurse your baby?
No.
Nah. But she made herself so attractive. Okay, Mother, yeah, go ahead. So, but she was a friend of Kamsa. She was a friend of Kamsa. And she came there with poison smeared on her breast. Why? To kill Krishna. To kill Krishna. As soon as Krishna comes, people want to get rid of him. Like I said, ignore Krishna, kill Krishna. Why Krishna, right? So Putana comes forward. She gives her breast to Krishna, smeared with very, very terrible poison. And Krishna sucks her breast and sucks out her life air. Kills Putana. How old? 1 month old. So what happened to Putana? You know what happened to Putana? She got mukti. She, not just mukti, there's 5 kinds of mukti. She went to Krishna's planet to become a maidservant of Yashoda. Why? Because even though she came with malintent, mixed in that malintent, there was a little bit of acting like a mom. A mom serves her child. Who's the best servant of the child? The mom. Good mom. Yeah. So she came and with that little bit of that intent. And Krishna took that intent. Krishna took that intent and gave her the benefit of that, gave her the benefit of the doubt. Okay, you're coming as a mom, you want to kill me? Okay, I can't be killed. I'm the supreme, but you can't kill me. I'll take that part that's good. So she took all the good part and left all the bad part. And she came, this is Krishna's love. This is love of Krishna. Now, one final point we'll make about Krishna's love. There are many different incarnations of Krishna. But the most recent incarnation of Krishna, is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Krishna, but he's in the mood of a devotee of Krishna. Not only the mood, but the color. The Srimati Radharani is known as the best devotee of Krishna. There's the male part of God and the female part of God. Krishna is the male part of God. Srimati Radharani is the female counterpart. And of the two, especially Vrindavan, Radharani is considered the most powerful, most important, more important. So Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, but he's in the mood and color of Radharani. Srimati Radharani, we pray to Srimati Radharani, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Gaurangi means her form is golden. And Lord Chaitanya is called Gauranga. Lord Chaitanya is Gauranga. He's Gauranga, golden form. Tapta Kanchana Gauranga. And Gauranga, Bolite Habe, Pulaka Sharid. So anyway, Lord Chaitanya, he's the most recent incarnation of Krishna. And he came in Kali Yuga. Why? To spread the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare, one can very quickly get love of God, which would be the benediction for all people. But that was the external reason, the Dharma Samsthapanartha, that reason, he came for that reason. But he has his own reason. He had his own reason for coming also. You can do things many different, we have many different purposes that can be served by one thing. Just like in the Govardhan Leela, Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill, with the little finger of his left hand. Why did he do that? Why did he do that?
To demonstrate his prowess.
One thing, to demonstrate how he's just a boy, 7-year-old boy, and he's lifting the hill so he's the Supreme Personality of God. He demonstrates that. But there's other reason.
He wanted to keep all of the Vrindavans in one place.
Yeah, he protected all of his devotees from the wrath of Indra. And there's another reason.
He used to see his devotees for 7 days and 7 nights.
He wanted to associate with his friends, cows. And there's another reason. We're not stopping.
You want to satisfy the desire of the devotee to see him.
Yes, he satisfied that desire too. And there's another reason.
He wants to teach the Indra's.
He wanted to curb the pride of Indra, because Indra was puffed up. He was saying, hey, who's this Krishna? Hey. So all these different factors he did all at the same time by that one thing. So similarly, Lord Chaitanya comes to establish the Yuga Dharma of the chanting of Hare Krishna. But also he had his own internal reason. His internal reason was to be able to understand how wonderful Krishna's love. Because Krishna is giving his love, but Radharani is experiencing how Krishna's love is so wonderful. So he wanted to take the position of Radha so that he could understand how wonderful Krishna's love is. You follow?
Yeah.
That's Lord Chaitanya. That's Lord Chaitanya. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauriti Shema. I once got into trouble. I was giving a talk. And it was in Tawako. Tawako temple. And I said, Lord Chaitanya is even more merciful. He's Krishna himself. But in this incarnation, he's even more merciful than Krishna. And people say, wait a minute. Oh, hold on. You can't say that. But take a look at it. when Krishna came, what was his business? What was his business most of the time?
Protect the devotees.
Most of the time, he was killing demons.
Yeah.
Agasur, Bakasur, Kamsa, and Pundaraka, all, isn't it all so many demons? His business is killing demons. If you look at Krishna's horoscope, you know, Kundali, if you look at Krishna's horoscope, it's very interesting. Taurus rising, you know, Vrishabh. And you'll find that, you'll see that his ninth house, his religion is killing demons. Most of the time, that's his job. But Lord Chaitanya, he didn't kill any demons. He killed the demonic mentality of people by giving them love of God. What other incarnation proselytizes, please chant Hare Krishna and develop love of God and gives love of God to other people? No other incarnation. You don't find. Krishna didn't go out and try to, no, Lord Chaitanya did that. He went out and he said, please chant Hare Krishna. Please, please, please chant Hare Krishna. That way you'll be purified. Cheto darpana manjanam bhava mahadava agni nevapanam shreya kairava chandrikavrim vidyavaru jivanam. If you chant the holy name of God, then your heart, your consciousness will become clean, and you'll be able to experience unlimited transcendental pleasure in relation to Krishna. So that was Lord Chaitanya's wish. He did that. Everywhere he went, he was encouraging people, please chant the holy names of God, and your life will become sublime. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
See, we got 10 minutes. There's time for questions. You're going to ask a question?
Yes.
Rakesh, okay.
I think I'm loud enough. So Prabhuji, most of us always struggle balancing Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga. And even Karma Yoga is something that we're not naturally conditioned to it. We consider ourselves as the beneficiaries of whatever the labor that we put in our respective work. By chanting, at least the consciousness builds that whatever we are getting in return, it has to be utilized for right purposes rather than just satisfying your senses. How would you recommend, should we elevate the entire journey, that we go beyond transcending our day-to-day lives, and make sure that we are completely, involved in that higher taste, which I still do not get it. When I'm at work, I'm at work. When I'm chanting, but I don't experience Lord Shri Krishna in everything that I do, essentially.
Did anybody have COVID here?
Everyone
Did
did.
anybody get COVID here?
Maybe.
What happens with COVID? You get an infection, and then the infection spreads, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Spreads to your sinus, your stomach, so the infection spreads. So Krishna consciousness is like that infection. It will spread, even though right now it might be infecting it'll spread. By keeping chanting, it spreads. Yeah. Now, but you have to keep doing. Keep the chanting. It'll spread to. Prabhupada compared it to an infection sometimes. In a good way, not a bad infection, good infection. So, but what's the difference between Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga? What's the difference between Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga?
I think Karma Yoga is just devoting the fruits of your labor to Lord and Lord's activities and promoting His service and being part of it.
Like that, yeah. So, have you ever seen these pictures where, they have these funny looking pictures where you look at the picture one way and it looks like an old woman, and you look at it another way and it's a beautiful lady? You've seen those kind of optical illusion kind of things? So it's like that. Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga are very similar, very similar. Karma Yoga, when you have increased consciousness and thought, desire to please Krishna, becomes bhakti. Do you follow? Karma Yoga, if you increase your Krishna consciousness and increase your desire to please Krishna, that becomes bhakti. Same thing, but just the consciousness and the desire become purified more. We all have desire. So look at this. Karma Yoga is described in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, right? And Krishna says there, Jagyartat karmanyonyatra loko yam karma bandhana tardatam kama punteya mukta sangha samachara. He says, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, that work will bind you to the material world. Think about this. Whatever you do, if you don't sacrifice it for Vishnu to some extent, then it's going to keep you in this material world of samsara. Okay. He says, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Now, who's saying this? This is Krishna, the Supreme Vishnu. And he said, work that has to be done for a sacrifice. He's Krishna saying that right there. Yeah. So, so that way you become mukta sangha samachara. Mukta sangha means, okay, you become free from bondage. So in karma yoga, there's more of an interest in becoming free from the bondage, you follow? That's the more, than to actually satisfy Krishna, right? You follow? Even though the purpose of yajna is to satisfy Krishna, but also we can have all kinds of other, like I was saying before, you can do many things. So in karma yoga, there's a more of an accent, more of an emphasis on becoming free from karma than simply to satisfy Krishna. Yeah. So the gopis, who are the epitome, the best devotees of Krishna are the gopis, and of course the supreme gopi is Srimati Radharani. So you know the story. Krishna had a headache. How can Krishna have a headache? He's God. How can God have a headache? How can God have a headache? If he wants to, he's God. He can do whatever he wants. If he wants to have a headache, he can have a headache. Sometimes the Christians say, God can't come to the earth. Why not? He's God, means he's the supreme. He can come wherever he wants. You can't stop. Who's going to stop him? So we say, Vedas say, he comes. Yeah. So Krishna had a headache. He's God, he can have a headache if he wants. It wasn't like your headache and my headache. In fact, when Srila Prabhupada in New York, they had the art department was in New York for a while, the ISKCON art department. And the artists would paint all day. They paint all the pictures around the world about Krishna. 90% of them are all from ISKCON artists from that time. So, but they would always check with Srila Prabhupada, is this bona fide? Because sometimes people, they don't understand the Leela right and stuff like that. So they would check. So one of the painters came forward. They had a picture. He looked like he was lamenting. And Prabhupada said, "What's the idea? What's the idea with this painting?" So the devotee said, "Oh, this is when Radharani left. Krishna left the rasa dance. Radharani left, and Krishna's lamenting." And Srila Prabhupada said, "Krishna doesn't lament like that. That's not how Krishna laments. He's not like that." So the era says, "Well, so should we get rid of the painting?" Prabhupada said, No. It's okay. We'll use this for another Leela." "What Leela?" "Krishna has a headache." Okay. So the Krishna had a headache, and he got his associate. Some people say Nada, some say Uddhava. So the only thing that's gonna cure my headache is the dust from the feet of one of my devotees. So he asked the Uddhava or Nada, you go to different devotees, try to get the dust from the feet. So he went to the demigods. He said, "Oh no, I can't give Krishna to put the dust from my feet on the head of Krishna. That's a big offense. I'll go to hell. I can't do that." So he went to so many different devotees around the universe. Nobody would give them the dust. Why are they thinking? They want to get free from karma, right? They don't want to offense. Okay. So then he came back to Krishna and said, "Krishna, I can't get anybody." He said, "No, go to the gopis. You go to the gopis." So Krishna went the Uddhava went to the gopis and said, "Krishna's got this headache, and Krishna got a headache. What can we do?" Well, he said, if he can get the dust from the feet of one of his devotees, that's the cure. So he said, "Immediately, take so much dust. I have so much dust. Take. And he was shocked. He said, "You're not afraid you'll go to hell? You're not afraid you'll go to hell?" So Gopi said, "No problem. We'll go to hell. We don't care. We'll go to hell just so Krishna's headache is cured. That's all." So that's pure bhakti. They're not thinking about being free from karma or anything like that. So bhakti yoga is just karma yoga with more desire to please Krishna and less interest in one's own liberation. Mukti bhukti siddhi kama sakala ashante. Krishna bhakti nishkama atayeva shante. This is a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. The mukti bhukti siddhi kama. Mukti means there are people who are looking for mukti. I want mukti. Mukti bhukti, they want material things. Siddhi, we want yoga siddhis. I want to be able to read people's minds or live a million years and like mukti bhukti siddhi. They're all ashanta. People like shanti. Well, all this mukti bhukti, they're all ashanta. They have because of their desires. Krishna bhakti nishkama. But a Krishna bhakta, they have no desire for themselves, therefore, atiyeva shanta, they can be peaceful. Because they have no other desire, just to please Krishna, and Krishna's pleasing, Krishna can be pleased just by her pure effort, that's all. So they have none. So that's a nice thing. So that's karma yoga, bhakti yoga. We're trying to become bhakti yogis. We're not there yet. We're trying to be Vaishnavas. Vaishnava means someone whose purpose is to please Krishna. That's all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks for a nice question. Yes, sir.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Narendra.
Thank you so much for a wonderful class, as always. So you just talked that how a Vaishnava devotee doesn't even desire liberation.
Pure devotee.
Yes. And if we in one of the shlokas in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, once you come to my abode, you'll never go back.
Yes.
And the reason you said that why we are here is because we have the envy for Krishna. Now, my fear is, what if we go back and because its Maya is so strong, what if we still have that envy in our mind? So when some of the devotees say that they want, you briefly mentioned about 5 different type of mokshas, right? When one of the mukti is where you go and get involved into the God. So that liberation is considered as the worst, and
We don't like that liberation.
Yes, exactly. So, but then there is also fear. If I don't reach that kind of moksha, is there still a chance that we might fall back? And if there is how do we not be worried about it? How do we foolproof the things?
So we mentioned that because of Ichha Dvesha we come to this world. So then the jiva is called tatastha shakti. Tata means what?
On the border.
Means the shore, on the bank, the shore. Tata. So the shore, sometimes it's covered with, when the tide comes in, then there's water covering, and sometimes the tide goes out, and then so tatastha, that's us, jivas, tatastha shakti. Sometimes we're covered by Maya, and sometimes we're not covered by Maya. Okay. So, but Krishna says, now we're covered by Maya, in case you didn't know. Yeah, you know that. So then, but Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam, evam yoviti tatvata, chaktva deham punar janma naiti mam, iti sarjana. If now you got your life now, if you can understand me now, you're never going to punar janma naiti, not again birth. So once you come to this world and you figure out that you've made a big mistake and you reattach to Krishna in love, he says you don't come back. Once burned, twice shy. It doesn't happen second time. There's some memory, some consciousness that you made the mistake. It was a big problem, a big mistake. You're not going to do it again. So that's Krishna says. That's Krishna's words, not my words. Krishna's words. Chaktva deham punarjanma naiti. Not again. You're not coming again. So you remember. You won't make this. There's the possibility it could, but practically doesn't happen. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you all. Very forward.
Hare Krishna.
What's the next is?